Have you ever heard the phrase content is king? Though content marketing used to just be a way to set yourself apart from your competitors, it has now become a necessity for any modern brands. Content marketing is at the heart of every successful digital marketing campaign. Behind every great brand, there is a wealth of valuable and relevant content that really connects with the company's audience. But you may be still wondering, why is content marketing so important? Hey people, how's it going? You are listening to the Marketing Manifest podcast, a show where we help people learn, implement, and grow both in business and marketing. Today's podcast is all about why businesses need content marketing to take their brands to the next level. Today we have novelist Ramesh, a content and campaign marketing manager at Aegis EasyStrip Services. He has worked with several companies across the globe, such as Ubisoft, Edenred, and Alliance France. I welcome Novelist to the Marketing Manifest show.
Hey, Emil, thanks for having me, and it's great to be here. So yeah, thanks for that. And I think I'd better introduce myself. As you mentioned, I have a lot of experience. I have around 10 years of experience in various marketing roles. I've worked in the pharmaceutical industry, insurance, video game, enterprise payment solutions, and transports. And as you rightly said, currently, I'm working in Aegis EasyStrip Services as a campaign marketing manager for Europe. So we're basically exports in transports and mobility services. Okay. And you know what? Since you mentioned content marketing, I just want to say something that I've learned during these years. I learned something specific about this audience. You know, people don't buy goods, services, or brands. They buy benefits. They buy the experiences. Exactly. They buy relations, stories, and the magic.
That's a very valid point. I would say, like most people depend on the content before that, usually understand the product and then go for the purchase part. So I think content marketing plays a very valuable role in marketing strategies and all. Okay, so before we start, make sure you never miss a show by clicking the subscribe button now. This podcast is made by listeners like you. Thank you for your support. Now let's get back to the show. Now, Manish, I would like to know more about you. So I'm going to ask a few questions regarding that. So how did you get into marketing and what made you go down this line?
Yeah, basically, I was always a great talker and I loved listening to stories and also telling stories, you know. I mean, believe it or not, I learned storytelling when I was a kid. I loved my grandma, you know. Whenever I went back to India, she would tell me loads of stories. And the way that she narrated her stories, it got me clicking into storytelling. So as I grew up, I gained experience and I got into business storytelling. So, I mean, business storytelling is all about creating that alignment between your business and your prospects and consumers. Yeah. And you know, every company has loads of stories to tell. Stories that's going to engage people, surprise people, delight people, attract people. So that's everything that I do on every single company that I work for.
Amazing. So what's your view on content marketing in the recent years?
You know, in recent years, I've noticed that content marketing has evolved to become really powerful in driving customer interest and engagement. So unlike the typical approaches to advertising and marketing of the past, content marketing presents useful information to possible customers to get their interest, which leads to the interest in brand, product, or service as well. You know, many of the world's biggest brands have used it in one way or another, mainly because if you're not using it, it's way more risky than investing in it. You know, you have to get into this space.
So content marketing absolutely plays a great role in marketing and strategies. Yes, I agree. I completely agree to that. So what is the first thing that jumps to your mind when someone mentions content marketing? What is your thought about that?
You know, honestly, when people mention content marketing, they think immediately about blogs, Twitter, Facebook, and viral YouTube videos, right?
Yeah,
I mean, all of these are too mainstream and has no differentiating value. I'm going to pick an example that is really old school. Comics. Comics are really attractive, and it attracts people of all ages because they love reading comics. You know why? Because of their rich storytelling with high quality images that builds this strong relationship with the readers, you know?
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Most of the people, like even like when you talk about a novel or something like that, the reason why people get into a novel is like it's basically because of the content. Because like if there is no value in the content, then nobody will buy either a comic or a novel. Yeah, that's absolutely a nice point. Yeah. So what do you think? How do you think content marketing plays an important role in businesses?
Well, today's prospects have a strong appetite for good information, but they have a powerful resistance to the so-called hard sell, I mean, most of us research products and services online before making a purchase, right? We study different cars, compare different prices and features before even setting foot in a dealership or on a website. So even grocery shoppers use mobile phones to compare prices and deals. So people want good content that helps them make good decisions, but they don't like being sold. So consumers are less responsive to traditional advertising, and it is our job in businesses to actually give them that good content, to guide them, to educate them towards making that action that we desire.
Awesome. Yeah, I completely agree to the point what you said regarding the grocery part, because like people nowadays, especially in this lockdown period, there are, both Flipkart and Amazon is being, doing a quite a good role in terms of grocery services and all those stuff. So yeah, people do do their research and all those stuff before getting a stuff. Awesome. So how do you? So how does content marketing come into place, especially for a B2B or a B2C? How specifically could you position it in these both industries?
Well, basically, the needs of your audience are different and their reasons for buying are different when it comes to B2B and B2C. So the way you choose to promote your content has the potential to be different, right? So the reality of content marketing is that whether you're speaking to a typical consumer or to a business, there are certain fundamentals of creating engaging content that remain the same. You have to sell your story before selling your product. The user experience matters, you have to create this multi-layered content, form these collaborations, take advantage of mediums like paid ads, and always when you do something, metrics, analyze, perfect, redo, try.
Awesome. So you mentioned strategy in content marketing. So now I'm gonna put you in a spot. Like, can you give me a content marketing strategy less than in 1 minute?
Oh my God, you're asking me to do something that takes maybe weeks or months. All right. I can do this. All right.
Awesome.
Okay, you have the timer. Time it.
Yes. Okay. It's already ready. Yeah.
Great. So certain things. First thing, what do you want to accomplish with your content? Get clear on your brand. This is your reputation in the marketplace. Okay. How do you want to show up? What do you believe in? What matters to you? What you have to do is you really got to brand the whole industry. Then understand and research your target audience. All of your content has to bring value to your target audience, aka your potential customers, clients, the people that buy from you. What type of content are you going to create? Are you going to entertain, educate? Are you going to motivate? Or are you going to do a little bit of combination of a lot of things? What is this balance that you're going to have between your niche content, your industry content, and your general content that's going to appeal to everyone? Will there be themes to your content, build-ups, shows? Are you going to turn macro content into micro content? And then there is the medium in which you create your content. There's video, blogs, social media posts, podcasts, white papers, case studies, planning. When are you going to post? How often? When are you going to schedule time to create that content? And in the end, KPIs, how you're going to measure success and make adjustments along the way.
The most important thing in marketing strategy is KPIs and KPIs. If you don't measure it, then there's no point in doing any marketing strategy. Wow, that was really quick within 1 minute. I just imagined the entire marketing strategy in less than 1 minute. Wow, that's amazing. So that's a lot of steps to digest, but I went quite fast. But still, everything was in place, so no problem. Okay, so let me ask you this. So we have a buyer, and who's doing all sorts of research about the product. So do you think content marketing will have an impact in the buying cycle?
Absolutely. As a business, you need to start and analyze with the buyer's journey, which consists of different stages a customer goes through leading up to their purchase, right? There's a few variations of what the buyer journey looks like, but there's three main stages. It's the awareness, consideration, and the decision stage. I mean, the challenge is to deliver relevant and engaging content to prospects that are at different stages of the buyer's journey. I mean, there's specific content that works at each stage of the buyer's journey. For example, awareness. This is where at the discovery stage, when prospects are looking for answers to fulfill a problem, content types like blog posts, social posts, and videos work great. Take consideration. This is when they understand the cause of their problem and are looking into various kinds of solutions. Demos, case studies, white papers work amazing. And for decision, they're just this much away from making that step, and here you just need to push them. And for these, you need to give them live training, success stories, references, kickoff events. So as you can see, every step of the way you have to provide that relevant content, which is quite important, for content marketing and as a strategy.
Amazing. I mean, So I mean, in any kind of marketing strategy, like now we are specifically talking about content, but let's take it to any content any marketing strategy. The marketing funnel does play an important role in all aspects, and I got to know that content marketing even plays a very good role in the buying cycle. That's amazing. I mean, I am getting a lot of insight from you. This is amazing. So what is your advice to the budding entrepreneurs or maybe a freelancing content marketing specialist who's listening to this podcast right now?
Actually, it's straightforward. Don't be afraid to try things out. Aim to make at least one mistake a day, because that's how you learn. And the more you fail, the more you learn, Work on your communication. Get out of marketing. I mean, when I say get out of marketing, I mean talk to other people other than marketing. Talk to sales, HR, finance. Read a lot. Be humble and listen to experienced marketeers. I mean, that's the way you're going to progress.
Awesome. I guess audience, you have gained a lot of insights from this session, and this was absolutely an interesting session with you, Navnesh. I absolutely learned a lot from you with this. This was a very short podcast, but still I did learn a lot from you. And so guys, if you like this session, if you are listening to this podcast right now, be sure to subscribe to this podcast. We are going to bring in some amazing people like Navnesh into the show and help you learn, implement, and grow together. So thank you all for listening to this week's podcast of the Marketing Manifest podcast. We will be coming back next week with another interesting podcast. Until then, stay safe, and you are listening to the Marketing Manifest podcast. This is Emil AG signing off. Peace out.